Are you ready to dive deep into meaningful discussions, explore personal stories, and gain practical insights that can transform your approach to mental fitness? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Real Talk Mental Fitness Podcast, where open conversation and authentic connections come together to empower your mental well-being. I'm your host, Chinazom, and I'm so excited to have you here with us today. Something you said, Laura, I wanted to come back to is being your own best friend, because I feel like that's the most important thing that I've seen now for mental fitness is you've got to be your own cheerleader. You have to accept yourself, all the faults as well. Because what I realize is now that I'm coming to a place of peace, is now that I accept the bad things about me. It's not that I'm not trying, but I don't start beating myself up about it. And that I feel is into the child, because you just try and realize that you're human. You make mistakes, but you're still trying to do the best that you can. And I wanted us to just touch on that and how we can be a better cheerleader, because you're right what you said, Laura. It's like you can lean on other people, but at the end, you have to be comfortable in your own presence, because you're always going to be sometime in your own, depending on yourself. So I wanted to touch on.
You know, I haven't ever thought about this before, but the first thing on my mind is my mom is talking to me right now. I think we're calling people out from the woodwork here. But she maybe put the fear of whatever in me that I was always to make her proud, but I was always to make Dad proud. I was always to make our family proud, but I was always to make myself proud first. And, you know, I think until I got to be a certain age, I'm going to call it 40, I wanted to make everyone proud, but I wanted to make everybody else proud over myself. I just was like, well, I'm going to make everybody proud because that's a woman's duty and, you know, or girl's daughter's duty and a spouse's duty and a wife's duty. But I just got to that age and something miraculous happened. The other weight that prevents people from being proud of themselves or being able to make change is that they care too much about what other people think. And not to be very blunt, but to be very blunt, I don't give a shit what anyone thinks about me at all. Yeah. I care mostly what I think about me. So that's what I mean by if I'm my own best friend, it's because I'm challenging myself. I'm putting myself in terrible situations because I think it's going to be fun to try a challenge or whatever it is, but I'm always checking in. I heard you say talking to your dad. Yeah, I talk to my mom. I talk to myself. I check in with myself all the time. How are we feeling today? That's the Gemini in Jamie and I. We're both Geminis. We have multiple personalities.
We're actually talking to 4 people right now, but you didn't even know it.
I know. I'm just getting more to the other 2. Yeah, there could be more. Who knows how many spirits we have in here?
Yeah.
No, but I do love that checking in with yourself, because I think a lot of the times people don't do that, and I feel that's what causes a lot of the problems with the mental fitness. In that, when you just said that survival, if people really stop, quieting down, and ask, "How are we doing?" and actually listen. The problem is we don't want to listen because we're like, "No, it's too much. We don't know," so we just carry on being busy. But I feel if we can stop checking with ourselves, well, mental fitness would be in a lot better place.
Yeah, and I always just think about that person who needs you to stop and just say, how are you doing? Hey, I'm not doing good either because of this. It is so contagious when we reach out to each other, when we, drop the cell phones and all the technology and we just look each other in the eye and say, what can I help you with? Where is your mental fitness today? How are you feeling? Do you want to go for a walk? I mean, these are the basics that we forget as life gets busy and chaos comes into our lives. But that's another great way is, find someone like Jamie who brings so much joy into your life and make part of your happiness kind of, on their onus as well too. And don't disconnect yourself as much as you can when you go through grief. I just wanted to put those blinders up, man. I just wanted that wall to go up as far as possible. I didn't want anyone reaching out, reminding me that my mom's had passed away. But, people like Jamie just kept checking in on me. They never stopped, and I'm just so grateful for that. I don't think I could have done it all on my own, to be honest with you.
100%. And so, like, similar, I have a Jamie who it's funny now how he checks in on me, and I think the guy has just been so phenomenal in my last 4 years. When I think he always has this way of spiritually sensing when he needs to call me, because whenever I'm in that position, he'll just call, and I'm like, how does he always know when to call me? So you do need to kind of have those people that are going to help you when you go through those times, and those, I call them kind of people that bring joy multipliers in your life. But Laura, you said, which I think is also another fundamental thing of not giving a shit about what other people think. That was a game changer for my life, where the sooner I started to not give a fuck about, because I'm like, those people are irrelevant, because I said on my deathbed, who am I going to care about? And once I started coming from that point of view, I started to realize there's very few fucks I should be giving.
Yes.
I helped with like my self-care, because I was just like, I just don't get stressed about things, because you're not relevant to where my end goal or what is I need to be worrying about. And that's been a game changer for me.
You're the most important person that matters, honestly. That's how you change your perspective on how you show up. And that's the other thing I'd say to everyone on my team, in any leadership position I've ever been in. The number one thing I say is like, just show up. And not every day are you going to want to, but showing up for each other, whatever show up means to you. If it means to be showing up looking great every day, show up that way. But don't not show up for other people in your life too. And I think it's important.
100%. Jamie, I'd love to hear from you, because I know we've been bouncing off each other. What's your view?
I mean, I love listening to both of you talk about this. I like the point of just showing up. And I think that, for some of us, that are, quieter and more introverted in life, it is a muscle that you sometimes do have to flex and create a discipline around showing up, because it is important. And especially when it comes to showing up for other people, right? This is not something for me. I was always worried, like, oh, do they want to hear from me? I don't know. I'm too shy to actually reach out. I overanalyze the situation. And watching, and specifically watching Laura, I've told her this a million times, but these are the tools that I've actually learned from her, that she shows up for other people in ways that I've never seen before. And she does it very naturally, right? Like, hey, it's this person's birthday today. I just happen to somehow find time in my day to go make homemade cupcakes, and they're beautiful, right? Or I bought donuts and we're going to celebrate this together. And I might have noticed maybe, but I would have been too shy to have been that person to like, okay, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to prioritize this because I'm not sure that I should. And I think what I've really changed in my life the last few years is that it's okay to be disciplined, because that's what my authentic self is, and to have that list. So for that, I do have a list, like, hey, I have someone in my team who's on maternity leave right now. I want to make sure, sometimes she pops in my head and I reach out, and I make sure I reach out that way. But I also just want to make sure that I am reaching out on an ongoing basis. And I put that on my list. Or, it is important for me and my family to adopt a family every year, right? And so, like, I'm going to put that on my list. And that's how I'm going to show up for others. And so I have a list of like kindness, acts of kindness that I do. And maybe it's silly that I have to put it on a list, but for me, that's how my brain works. And ultimately, it brings me so much joy. One of my big values is feeling grateful and giving back. And so putting that on the list really helps me. So I guess in summary, it's that it maybe doesn't work the same for everybody, and that it's okay if you don't feel that certain things come natural for you, and showing up in whatever way it is. It's a natural thing, and that you have to work at it.
Yeah.
It's okay. And just listen to yourself and do whatever is right for you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Jamie. It just, well, the important thing I took away from that is we should all have a list. And also we should all surround ourselves with our joy makers, because we learn from each other. So it's like you just learned from Laura how you wanted to show up. Like for me as well, I used to be quite shy, and I'm like, oh, can I go and show that emotion when I actually wanted to be there for somebody? So I had to work on, like, I want this person to know that I care about them. So whether I feel shy or not, I'm just going to call and we'll work out. But I had to intentionally. So I think when you surround yourself with the people that the joy makers, there's something about them that you like, that you want to bring into yourself. So that's definitely, I'm going to start making that list now. That list of gratitude and the things that bring you joy that you can keep on.
Yeah, those lists you two are talking about, those are your self-care lists. If adopting a family is what fills your, heart with joy, that's self-care right there. So you both don't even know it, but you're already 50 things deep on both of your lists.
Probably are. So I normally always end this. So thank you so much. We've had such a great conversation, and
So fun.
Actually carry on for another half hour, but I want to kind of keep the time and be respectful of that for both of you. But I normally end with something that you share with the world that you're going to work on your mental fitness. I'm going to change the question a little bit, because I just love this thing about mental fitness being a journey. So you have to connect with your child and also the adult you as well. So if there's something that you're connecting with those two that you want to start putting into your mental fitness based on what either the child or the adult you would want, what would that be? I'll give you some time to think about it. I want to put this down.
I mean, is it a feeling? Because I just think happy. I just keep coming back to the times in my life when I feel the most stable, the times in my life when I can make the best decisions, when I'm treating my body the right way, or when I'm happy. When something is creating chaos or grief or unhappiness or agitation or disruption in my life, I focus on it so hard to remove it. But not always. Jamie knows that I've made a ton of mistakes in the last decade, not just the last 3 years. Not the last 3 years, the last 10 years have been crazy. But I keep coming back to this notion that, like, happy and fun and positive are all what fuels my personality. I get around someone who's negative and I just shut down completely. So I would say Laura, little La and older La, working backwards from the end of my life. Chinazom, you said that. Yeah, envisioning who's going to be sitting around you on your last day is a great way to prioritize. It's a great way to make all those lists, be it self-care, be it prioritization and give back. But happiness is so undervalued. I think if the whole world could, like, find a little bit more happiness and take care of each other a little bit more, everything would change. Everything would change.
100% agree on that. That's such a beautiful one. All right, Jamie?
Yeah, for me, I'm in this journey of continuing to give myself grace for the bad decisions that I make sometimes, and the okay decisions I make sometimes, and then really celebrate the wonderful decisions that I make, or the learning that I have from the bad decisions. And so just continuing. I'm at a interesting point in my life right now. I have some big choices ahead of me right now. And I am giving myself grace in that I don't know if it's the right choice or not. And again, if it's the good choice, then awesome, we celebrate. If it's a bad choice, then it is okay, because it's not permanent.
Learn.
And
I will learn.
It's not permanent. And so that's where I am at right now. Okay to make choices, even if I don't know if they will be the fully right ones for me, which is really hard, by the way, to do for an over analytical person.
I don't know how you're doing that, Laura, because it's not working
for you. Do that.
I don't know. It's not working for you guys.
You've got like a magic screen.
Amazing. Maybe my heart doesn't look like a heart, but
I know. I'm thinking maybe we need to work
that's
on
really
that.
cool.
I don't know. I didn't know I did that.
You're magical. You just like
Magic energy at the moment.
you just breathe hearts.
Yeah, the joy's just coming out.
No,
I want to thank both of you so much. I mean, this is why I love doing this. Is like just
so fun.
Both of you, and you fill my cup, my emotional energy cup up. So I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I love what both of you said: happiness and my brain has just gone now. Happiness and Jamie, what did you just say? I don't know why my brain has stopped working.
Giving myself grace.
Grace.
Because what you just said is actually what I've been working on, which just hit me with my nutritionist said is acceptance. So once I can, and this is how I need to get more in tune with my child self, if I can have more fun, but also accepting that I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to, excuse my French, fuck things up, but that's okay. That you're human. Yeah, we accept, we learn, and then we move on. So that's a big one for me. Yeah.
It's beautiful. This was so much fun. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much, guys.
So much for having us. It's been fun. Lots of happiness to go around.
Have a great weekend, and I will catch up with you guys hopefully soon. Well, Jamie, I'll definitely catch up with you. But Laura, I hope
we will.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Chinazom. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye, guys. And that brings us to the end of another insightful episode of Real Talk. We hope you've enjoyed today's discussion and have gained valuable insights into enhancing your mental well-being and productivity. Now, before we wrap things up, we have an exciting opportunity for you. Are you curious about your mental fitness score? Want to know how you can improve your overall well-being and boost your productivity? Well, we have just the thing for you. Head over to our show notes, where you will find a link to our exclusive mental fitness quiz. It's a quick and easy assessment that will provide you with a personalized score and actionable steps to enhance your general well-being and productivity. It's like having a personal coach in your pocket. And don't forget to subscribe to Real Talk on your favorite podcast platform. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we release new episodes filled with valuable discussions, expert interviews, and practical tips for leading a fulfilling life. You can also connect with me, Chinazom, on social media. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for daily inspirations, updates on upcoming episodes, and behind-the-scenes peeks into the Real Talk community. Remember, your mental well-being matters, and taking small steps towards improvement can make a significant difference in your life. We're here to support you on your journey. Thank you for tuning in today, and a special thank you to all our listeners who have joined us on this incredible podcasting adventure. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, keep striving for a better version of yourself. Take care and stay mentally fit.